Hello, 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 it's Christine. Time for a scrapbook process video, and I am doing basically 2 hops with this one. I'm not usually this efficient, so I'm kind of proud of myself. The first one is the Baby Got Scraps. I'm pulling out one of my little kits I had put together early in the month, and it's just a bunch of scraps, you guys. We've been doing that, so I have zero plan. This is my background. I've used this background already this month. And I think I did it this direction, so I think I'm going to make sure I try to either do it, I think this direction, because this is actually the way the pad is anyways. This may be tricky because I have some random freaking patterns in here, y'all, and they're single-sided, so this could be tricky. I think I actually stuck this in here from another set, so I don't know how I'm going to make this work. If I make this work, I may not end up using all of these scraps. I may end up just using this one. But then I also have this rainbow, and then this strap. And then, of course, that's all the same there. And then this little plaid. So we'll see how I make this work. I almost kind of like... No, I kind of like this too because of the rainbows. I don't know. I don't have a design or anything yet. The picture is my husband and his mama. The date's not on it, but I'm reading that jacket. I think that's when he was working at Discount Tire. So he would have been about 22 there. 23 maybe. Somewhere in that, it would have been very short... early in his 20s. So what is that going to be, 30 years ago, y'all? Isn't that crazy? And then the other thing I'm doing is Iron Crafter, and our prompt this month is stamping, and I'm kind of debating. I pulled out this cute little, this is Paper Smooches, y'all. I don't know if these are in business anymore. These were really cute. She had kind of real cutesy things, and then she has these cute little phrases. This was cute little phrases here. This is you're da bomb, and freaking great, stuff like that. So it's kind of cute, and I was thinking maybe that would go with the kind of mood and feel, but by the same token, I kind of liked this Live Like You Mean It stamp set from Stampin' Up. It's also very old. So I have not yet decided, but it has a little floral and stuff, and I thought that might go good with the floral. So I may not use this one only because it's a little on the cutesy side, and I don't have any imagery to go with it, so I may stick with this because these florals go with this. So I think that might be what I do. So I'll have to find some inks that go with this. Y'all, I have a project I need to do with my inks. I'll talk about that later, though. So I think this is what I'm starting with. I don't have a design or anything. So let me think on that, and I'll get back on in a minute. Okay, you guys. So I've got the picture, and I've decided to... I flipped over... I forget which pattern now, to be honest with you. But on the back side of it was like little birds with a very soft kind of turquoisey dot or whatever. I'm going to make a really skinny mat. You can't really see their birds or anything, but I like the little turquoise because my mother-in-law's shirt is kind of got the turquoise in it, which I kind of love the colors after. I'm going to just tell you guys, this layout has there's some pros and some cons. Let me put it that way. I like how it turned out, but there's a few little pieces I'm like, dadgummit, that didn't go as well as I'd hoped. So anyway, I matted the photo with that light colored little turquoisey kind of stuff, and then I'm going to mat it with this darker flower here. And again, you can kind of see it's flowers, I guess, but the point I was really kind of going for was the darker matte just to offer some contrast. Now, what I decided to do, I don't know if I've made the decision at this point, but I'm looking at this background and I'm seeing those circles. And I thought to myself, you know what? I think I can use a punch and put some circles in the circles. So I must have already made that decision because there's my punch. I didn't even mess with the rainbow piece because I thought it was perfect just the way it was. I had a little torn top and bottom, and it was 2 rows of rainbows, so I thought that was great. So I'm using my punch here to punch out on this little stripe the circles, and I'm just kind of offsetting them in the circles that are in the mixed media background. Now I'm going to end up pulling out ink in a minute. Well, I have to anyways because it's a stamping challenge for Iron Crafter, right? I'm going to end up running over to my Distress Oxide. I think the color I pull out is Blueprint, something Blueprint, I think. If not, you'll see the cover of it in the video. I do leave it sitting there. But I go through and I just kind of punch out my circles. And I think, okay, that looks pretty cool. I kind of like this so far. I'm going to pull out my little plaid here, and I'm going to split it. I'm going to put it top and bottom to the rainbow. And that's just offering a little break because, again, this needs a little contrast. You can see the white paper of the rainbows is getting a little bit lost on the white of the little circles or whatever. So I'm just doing this to kind of offer a little break. I don't glue anything down just quite yet because I'm not 100%. And I actually end up coming in and inking the edges of the papers in a minute too, which is another reason I wasn't sure I wanted to glue it down. So I've kind of got my photo there, but I'm looking at it and I'm thinking I still need a little break from that background on that photo, but I'm not quite there yet. I think I needed one more circle. There it is. So I'm going to do that. I've decided I'm going to stamp the title above the photo on the upper left up there where the yellow is. And it works out kind of neat because, again, one of the pros of this is when I get my photo matted down. Oh, and by the way, I decided to add one more white mat. So I flip over the, I tried that little plaid there. I love that pattern, but it just wasn't going to work. So I actually flip over the flowers paper here because I had so much of it. And I'm going to use that for a little white mat background. Again, I'm going to end up inking the edges of it a little bit, but this is just where I'm starting. I realize I'm trying to figure out my size here, y'all. I'm kind of fassing around. But anyway, the yellow there, if you kind of look at the yellow piece right there, the yellow mixed media, you can see almost a little bit of a stair step, right? So the picture is going to get matted inside the bottom stair step, and then my stamping of my title is going to be kind of in the second little stair step there. And hopefully you'll be able to tell what I'm talking about in just a second. But I'm going to get my photo matted here. I'm actually going to end up deciding to put it on foam as well. And I take a while to glue it down, and I almost forget. I start doing stuff, and I realize all of a sudden, oh, shoot, my photo's not matted, or glued down, rather. So this is kind of what you're seeing here. This is where I think I pull out the ink. Give me one second here. Yep, there it is. I got the ink. And I'm going to test my stamps here to make sure that this ink will show up on the yellow. And it does. It shows up pretty good. I wouldn't say it's in your face or anything like that. I stamped underneath where the photo was going to go. I like that little floral there. I showed you in the beginning the stemmed floral. I don't actually end up using that. And here's where at the end of this, I started inking the edges of the papers, and then this is just me doing the very last little circle here. I just did it off to the side with my little blue brush. I was smart, y'all. I used my blue-handled brush with my blue ink. I was kind of happy with myself for doing that. Okay, so I'm just gluing down my pieces here. And I'm going to come along and glue down my circles. I thought about putting the circles up on foam, but I'm going to end up putting embellishments on those. I love a grid layout. This is not a grid. However, the thing about grid layouts that I like is you kind of build like little mini clusters or little mini whatever. And I love using like little shapes and things to put little mini sets of things on it. So you'll see in just a second, I'm going to put little embellishments on the circles, and not all, yeah, actually pretty much all the circles. Here's where I'm going to start messing with my title. So I go, okay, so I'm going to do this bottom half first. So this is going to be where I go, when I said pros and cons, I don't want to call it a con because it's not that bad, but I end up stamping life just a little bit crooked. And it kind of irritates me, y'all. It irritates me that I did it. Now, this isn't bad. This is, again, under my photo because I'm trying to make sure I'm going to be able to get this done. This is one of the reasons I think you don't really see woodblock stamps anymore because you can't see where they're going. I actually have a little tool that Stampin' Up! Offered. It had like a little clear or like it wasn't 100% transparent, but it's kind of very, very transparent in a way. You could put your stamp on it and figure out where your block would align. There's like a little alignment tool, but I was definitely entirely too lazy to pull that out today. So I could have made sure this was straight, but I did not. So I can't complain too much because this part goes down pretty straight. I get the little sentiment. It says, live like you mean it. Yeah, live like you mean it. And that looks okay. It's the life part that I get kind of wrong. And honestly, I need to take a picture. I'm going to put it on my Instagram. I've already taken the picture and added it to this video here, so I'm not going to redo it. I stamped my life. You can almost, it's a little wonky. It's not terrible. You see me kind of flick my hands, but it's a little wonky. I'll actually come in after all this, after I film everything else, and I actually outline it with a Sharpie, kind of on purpose messy, and it looks actually really good. Maybe I'll figure a way to add that picture here at the end if I can figure that out. I don't know. I've already kind of started recording, so we'll see. I also go ahead and pull out the little flower stamp, and I thought, it just kind of adds a little something. It's just bringing that blue that's on the right-hand side over to the left. So I really kind of like that. And it's tying in the flowers from the rainbows. So again, I think there's some pros to this layout. I'm actually kind of happy with, some of the thoughts I had and what I ended up just kind of the path I take. I still get really fascinated when I think about the, quote, process of a scrapbook. You think you have a plan and things just, they don't always go according to plan, but then they look kind of cool when you do. Okay, here's where I took the ink and I kind of sprinkled it everywhere. I think this looks okay. I'm not going to say I love it, but at the same time, I don't hate it. It kind of matches the mixed media on the background, so it's okay. This is the first one I've done that I actually added my own mixed media. All the other ones, I've just kind of allowed the mixed media backgrounds to do the mixed media work for me. And this one's the first one I did it. So here's where I'm going through my embellishments, and this is where I'm going to pull out some florals. I'm going to start building my little pieces on my circles here. I started with that little thing on the photo that I did not end up with, y'all. I will put something on the photo, but it's not that. This is the little thing that says, this is our story. I kind of like this, and I'll actually wonk it on purpose because I go, okay, if life is going to be wonked, I'm going to wonk that. And here's where I'm going to build my little pieces on my circle. So I got a little floral. It's like, you know, got a little bow on it and everything. I put a little tag there because I'm going to put the date on this. And then I get the date wrong, you guys. I think I told you guys my husband was in like his 20s. And then I turned right around and write 1998 on that. So I'm going to have to undo that. I'm going to have to put white out on that and fix it. This was probably more like 1990. 3 or 4, to be honest with you. And I don't even really 100% know, so I'll put circa, but that's more likely what it was. All right, so then I have this little vase here. It's got some flowers on it. It's got little lemons and all that. I think this kind of ties back into the rainbow, so I'm not hurt about it. And I put foam on the top half, not the bottom half, because I tucked the little vase down underneath the rainbow paper just a little bit. I will come in with some little foam hearts in a minute that I'm finding on another little sheet. I'm just digging all through my stash, you guys. I think this is actually kind of cool that I'm using up stash. I had found a little book down there with flowers popping out of it. And then there's little words that says, love this. Those were from Cocoa Vanilla. I remember that. And then, what do I do next, you guys? I think I'll start getting into the foam stuff. The picture, I'll just tell you real quickly. This is just my husband and my mother-in-law at my in-laws' house. No, that's a lie. That's not even their house. That's our house. This was our first house. No, my second house. Y'all, this is why we scrapbook, because we can't remember nothing if we try. It's actually at our second house. I swear, we're just crazy. So actually, maybe this was... Oh, my goodness, y'all. I'm going to have to think about that because I know when we were in this house, and I'll have to write the right year down. I am so crazy today, you guys. Anyways, okay. Got my little foam things going on here. So I'm going to pull out a little foam heart. I'm going to put it next to my vase. I'm going to put one up in the upper left by the life title. And then on the lower right down there... next to love this. And then I'm going to actually get into my flare, you guys, my canvas flare from Scrap and Happy Studio. It's laying there. And I thought, you know what? I bet there's something. And I find this little sweet moment flare. Now, I will tell you that's a little on the peachy side, which is probably not exactly the right shade, but I'm not going to care about it because it says sweet moment and I love it. So there we go. That's the layout, you guys. I'm sorry about my crazy rambling today, but I can't get my dates right. Or my locations for that matter. So anyways, you guys have a great day, and I appreciate you watching. Don't forget to do the like and subscribe, and make sure you check out the hop. Everybody playing along is doing such creative things. I saw a video this morning that I was like, holy cow, that was so smart. So anyway, make sure you check out those, and we will talk to you later. Bye.